Next up, Ron Payton.
President Stuckart, council members, my name's Ron Payton, and I am a retired Assistant Fire Chief. I came tonight to address two issues. First one would be the constant degradation of the on-duty strength of the fire department, which has gone from a high of 82 to 59. That's 23 firefighters per shift. That's daily. That's enough to man between 5 and 7 fire companies. And this has happened during a time when the city population and the city boundaries have both increased. And the second item I want to talk to is fire apparatus. First line fire pumpers should be replaced every 12 years and put in reserve. They should be retired after 15 years, sold, scrapped, whatever. First line ladder companies should be taken out of first line service after 15 years. Should be retired after 20, scrapped, put away, done whatever they need to be. With these pumpers costing close to $500,000 and ladder companies costing close to or in excess of $1 million, the council needs to set up some kind of a replacement schedule and fund both firefighters and replacement of fire apparatus. The citizens of Spokane have shown that they support the fire department, and I believe that they deserve better service. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you for coming down, Mr. Payton. Tim Lively.
Good evening, Council President Stuckart and members of the Council. Thank you for this opportunity to address the Council and discuss some concerns about fire response in the City of Spokane. My name is Tim Lively, and I live in the southwest portion of the city, specifically the Eagle Ridge area of the Latah Valley. I've been a resident of the City of Spokane with my family since 1984. We first lived in a house on 36th and Perry on the South Hill, and we had excellent fire response from Fire Station 11. I know this because I had to use it once for a family medical emergency, and Engine 11 was at my door in less than 5 minutes. As our family grew, we looked at other areas of the city and decided to have a house built in the Eagle Ridge area. We knew that in 1999, it would be a few years before a fire station would be built, but we never dreamed that it would be 14 plus years and we still did not have a fire station in our area. The response times in the Latah Valley area are above the national recommendations, not to mention that people's lives are at risk from these unacceptable response times. People have even transported themselves to the hospital and taken relatives before calling 911 because the response time to this area is so long. I currently sit on the homeowners board for the Eagle Ridge development, which currently has over 700 homes and growing, and one of the main open forum topics that we have at our meetings is when are we going to get a fire station? We tell them to write to the council and come to events like city council meetings and state their concerns. Spokane is a great city, and you are elected by the people to be our leaders, and even in the tough times, to figure out how to provide basic services like fire and police coverage equally throughout the city. While recently an automatic aid agreement between the City of Spokane and Spokane Fire District 3 was put in place to attempt to lower insurance rates, it does nothing to establish adequate response times within the Latah Valley area or to provide boots to the door in a timely manner. While we thank you for this agreement, it does nothing to put boots on the ground. We need a fire station because paper does not do CPR or put out fires. So we ask you not to forget us, as we will not go away, but to look at creative ways to provide boots to the doors and place a fire station in the Latah Valley area to actually help those individuals who call for help in a timely manner. I know there are proposals that would come before you, and we ask that you as leaders look outside the box and provide a solution that truly benefits all the residents of Spokane. Thank you for all your time, and may you and your families have a happy holiday.
Thank you, Mr. Lively. Kelly Kettrick.
Should you mention?
I will after this.
It's kind of weird.
Good evening.
I'm here tonight to voice my concerns over the safety of my family and the families around me in my neighborhood with regards to the fire department and the services that they are able to provide. I'm a resident of South Hill with my husband and 4 young children. Our busy neighborhood is full of families young and old. We maintain our homes and take pride in the safe area we live in. It was brought to my attention the circumstances surrounding the events at Station 9. I spoke with friends and neighbors to gain more insight on this matter, but every single person was in the dark. Nobody knew of a problem with the station. Each person knew that there was a fire station on Bernard, and they were confident that their home was safe in the event of a fire. They knew of other stations in close proximity to their homes as well, and assumed all was well. There is an engine at Station 9. There is also a rescue unit at Station 9. It requires 3 firefighters to operate the engine and 2 to operate the rescue unit. Neighbors have every reason to assume their homes are protected. What we didn't know, however, was that due to cuts, there are only 2 firefighters staffing Station 9, leaving it possible to operate only Rescue 9. There have been many instances, this summer, for example, when the use of Engine 9 and Rescue 9 would have minimized damage to many homes in my neighborhood, thus increasing the protection in my neighborhood. Some were delighted to hear that 1 firefighter per shift will be added back to Station 9. This will make it possible to utilize the engine. However, a vast majority of the calls require the rescue unit. So 2 firefighters will operate the unit, while 1 firefighter will be left without a purpose. This bandage approach still leaves Engine 9 inoperable due to the staffing shortage. My concern again is with the inadequate support and protection from the fire department to my family and those around me. It is a service that we all take for granted is provided at full capacity, when in reality, not only are we at risk as citizens, but our firefighters are as well. I'm hoping for a plan, short-term and long, for the restoration of services we need for our city, for our firefighters, and for those that they protect. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kettrick. Ryan Morris?
President Stuckert, council members. I'm here to voice my concern over a recent, for lack of a better word, policy change in the fire department referred to as jumping, where we require our firefighters to take a medical vehicle over the firefighting apparatus to any call other than a fire. Though if the crew is in a medical vehicle and a fire call comes in, they are not capable of providing service until they return to their station, suit up, and get in their truck. All of this adds minutes to their response time. Fires double every 60 seconds, and minutes can dramatically change the size and the outcome of a fire. With the fire department being the sum of its parts, each company is dependent on equally and is needed to be fully functional. We already have staffing issues, and this policy just stretches our department further. The department is in a delicate state where everything has to run smoothly, and we have a very small margin of error. A hiccup could lead to a poor disaster. And what stands to be lost is not just monetary. We're talking about lives and homes, not just structures and statistics. The fire department is an insurance that we all pay for to give us the best possible outcome for an expectable disaster in a city of our size. I live just a few blocks away from Station 11 on the South Hill, and I see them driving back and forth a lot. And most of the time they're in the medical vehicle. And they have a high probability of being the first people to respond to my house if there's a disaster. And I have a Christmas tree right now, which is this dry, dead bush that I wrapped in electrical wire and hot lights, which I see it as a fire hazard. Now, theoretically, if it were to catch fire and I'm separated from my family inside the home, and I can't go in, and they were out in a medical vehicle, 11s, they would have to drive past the scene to don their gear at their station and then return. So they could possibly double their time to get to my house. But if they knew that there was somebody in my house, they're not going to go back. They're going to go inside the building, because it's not the protective clothing, the air tanks, or the engine that makes them a firefighter. It's not just a job; it's a mentality, and they're going to go in. So we're either increasing the risk for our citizens or to our firefighters with this practice. And I would like to know what the cost benefit is to this risk, and a dollar amount perhaps on what we're saving by having them jump back and forth. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Morris. Deb Morris?
Can I move this down a little bit? Okay. Good evening, Council President Stuckert, council members. I live on the South Hill. As you would probably guess, that was my husband. And I'm here tonight with fellow citizens because I am also concerned about the state of our fire department. I'm not here to point fingers or to place blame on specific politicians because the sad state of our fire department is the result of over 20 years of consistent cuts. No, I'm not here to blame all of you for the past 20 years. I'm here to ask you to make significant change in the way our city has been addressing issues with funding of our fire department. Living in the second largest city in Washington, we need and we should have one of the top fire departments, but we don't. Even our smaller neighbor, the Valley, has better staffing, equipment, and funding than Spokane Fire Department. I am an RN at the second largest hospital in the state, right here in Spokane. And it's not just one of the largest, but one of the best. But hospitals struggle with financial issues as well, as there are consistent cuts to reimbursement they receive for the care they provide. We are constantly looking for ways to be more efficient, to cut costs and reduce overhead, but always with the understanding that we must meet federal regulations, provide a safe work environment, stay up to date on research-based practice changes, and also be looking to grow and improve our service. Employees are involved in decisions that will directly impact their work, and their input is encouraged. This is what we should be doing with our fire department. Instead, we have been decreasing the number of firefighters on duty per day while our population grows. We have no plan in place to provide for the predictable need to replace aging apparatus. We have not provided stations to service new areas of our city. We have cut fire service, with fire calls remaining consistent, to address increasing medical calls. We do not consistently involve our firefighters when making decisions that directly impact them, and their ideas are often dismissed. The foundation of Spokane Fire Department has been chipped away in the name of saving money and can now barely support the city it serves. And as the weak foundation creates cracks in service, we have been patching the cracks instead of addressing the real issue. We are here tonight to ask for a plan, a long-term, comprehensive plan that starts with rebuilding the foundation of our fire department, but also provides a clear vision for how we will maintain service and build upon it as our city's needs grow and change so that we do not find ourselves in this situation again. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Morris.